Ready to get your shit together? Isn't that what we are all truly trying to do? In this fun, life hack full show, we will learn together how to navigate this roller coaster called life. We, as glorious messy humans, can sit in the proverbial third car, grumpy and bored, or in the front of the roller coaster having the time of our lives. What do you choose? In this show, you can expect meaningful content and practical takeaway tools to make life easier and exceptionally more joyful. There will be epic guests who already love their lives, allowing them to share their get your shit together tips and words of wisdom. Life is too long and too short to not love your life. Welcome to Get Your Shit Together Live with Amy Joy. Hello and welcome to Get Your Shit Together Live with Amy Joy, and I'm your host, Amy Joy. Happy Thursday and congratulations on your abundance. I want you to take a minute right now to just really notice how abundant you actually are. There's a pretty strong program out there that makes us think that we're lacking in so many things, but it's simply not true. We are very abundant, and it's Happy Thanksgiving time. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I hope you're getting ready and planning, and maybe you're watching this while you're eating your dinner. I hope that it's a beautiful and glorious and harmonious time with your friends and family during this season. So think about it right now. Take a look around. How are you abundant in this moment? How are you abundant? In what ways, in all the ways, are you abundant? Amazing. Awesome. Well, we have a fun and creative show today. I have the amazing Caro Avedano on the show. She is Director of Creativity and the founder of Fabula. She is a creative genius, and she blows my mind on a regular basis on what she is able to create and how her processes are on how to do that. So she's going to teach us some nuggets on how to be creative and how to tap into our curiosity. I have no idea what she has up her sleeve, and that's on purpose because she's always so much fun and she likes it better that way, and I do too. So stay tuned to the end for the weekly triumph. We have the weekly challenge. We just finished our gratitude challenge this week. Thank you, everyone who put your submissions there and let me know. Oh my goodness, let me know what you're grateful for. And you'll get to know this week's. You can find it on Instagram every week, so stay tuned. And for the meditation moment, it's always a life hackful show. Thank you for spending your time and energy with us today. All right, it is now time to change your state, elevate. Beautiful. This is the time where we raise our frequency from wherever it is to higher, so we feel better. There's really only two states, and it's crappy or happy. So right now I want you to take a minute and just dial in. Maybe you're a little stressed out, getting ready for everybody coming over. Take a minute right now just to breathe. Breathe with me. Breathe in and exhale. Yeah. And today we're going to talk about hydration, because according to, let me see here, the quote. I want to make sure I get it right. According to the lay press, 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated. And dehydration causes dizziness, low blood pressure, headaches, tiredness, and kidney disease if you're not careful. So get a glass of water right now, please, please, please. And if you have some essential oil, lemon or lime, or an actual lemon, even better, put it in there and it will alkaline your water, which helps you even more, which is another whole class. But let's drink up and try to drink the whole thing. Yeah, let's go. Oh, I think that's good for me, but I hope you drank all of yours so you can stay hydrated and happy. Awesome. Okay, it's time. Wait for it. All right, so you can see my empty chair here. Caro is actually in the house. I'm going to read her bio to you right now. She is an amazing human. Caro is a multidisciplinary artist, a creative director, an experienced designer, a world builder, having co-created 18 virtual reality experiences at Future Lighthouse. She worked hand in hand with industry giants such as Oculus, UTA, Sony Entertainment, earning accolades at prestigious festivals globally in Venice Film Festival, Tribeca, Cleveland Film Festival, Raindance, Oxford Film Festival, Sitges Film, I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, Sitges Film Festival, to name a few. Her journey has intersected with mind-blowing mentors such as Tibetan monk Kempo Sandup Rinpoche, Samurai Zen Take, and Braden Mirstra, and more. Having explored diverse paths, she committed to collaborating on projects that aspire to be regenerative, have a profound impact, relate to mental health and education, and exclude creativity and magic. Her mission is to assist humanity in connecting with themselves, others, and nature, to inspire, to evoke joy, and above all, to help us remember. Welcome. Oh, I'm a little emotional. I love her so much. Welcome, Caro.
Thank you so much.
She's so fun and she's so creative genius. So we're going to talk about that today. But Caro, I want you first to just interact with the audience a little and tell them a little bit more about you, something that wasn't in your bio.
I like to solve problems. I think that's the thing that I like the most to do, and in a creative way. Just finding solutions everywhere outside of the box. And yeah, I think that is one of my purpose in life, just to solve problems. I love it. I get very activated.
She's amazing. I have a retreat center, as you all know. It's called Upaya Retreat Center. And I had her run a workshop for a ladies' retreat we did beginning of this year called Sisterhood Sanctuary. And we were trying to decide what to name the tents. And so she put us through this whole easy peasy process, but what it grabbed out of all of our minds was magic. And what we ended up doing was each of the tents are called a word that means peace in different languages in countries that have impacted my life. And because that's the frequency here at Upaya, it's peace. And so all the tents have a different name, but they all mean peace. So much intention, so much joy in the process of creating that together. So yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to? We can go through what we did in that workshop to understand what were the steps.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah. So, but the first conversation is about what is creativity, right? And I have my own theory about creativity.
This is why you're here. What is it? What is your theory?
I feel that we are like radio tuners, and we're able to tap into different frequencies all the time. Not only the creative frequency, but also many others. We can tap into peace. We can tap into love.
Yeah.
So if we see ourselves like radios and we're just like constantly trying to tune in, like modifying a little bit that the tuner to get into, to find what we are looking for, it's a great practice that works very well. And I have been doing it since I'm a kid. I love the frequency of stories. So like my whole life, like I'm interacting with someone else or they are telling me something, but in the back of my head, I'm tuning in, you know, and I'm just channeling ideas. But these ideas are not mine. Like I don't feel that I'm the owner of these ideas. I feel that I'm channeling them from a different space. And yeah, I let go of the ownership of that, and I let go of the responsibility of that idea too in that way, and also the pressure, because I understand that creativity is more like a setting instead of like an end result. It's not like, oh, you're very creative. No, you are able to connect to flow state and tune in and download ideas, and then you are able to express them. So
okay, wait, hold the bus.
Okay, sorry.
So is everybody creative?
100%. We're creating all the time.
Yeah, it's
all
true.
the time, and we're just not aware of it sometimes. But yes, we are very creative, all of us, but some of us put a little bit more effort to create different connections. And obviously this also fits into what are you consuming, right? If you are just watching TV all the time, what type of content are you watching? Do you read? Do you go outside for walks? Like, what is the input that you are having in your brain that will allow you to create different connections? So if I say cat, most of the people, I think the first thing would say dog. But maybe for a person that works in creativity, I say cat and they say Alice in Wonderland.
Oh.
That's another connection.
Then I would say rabbit hole.
Yeah. And then we're going to keep going.
Right. Okay. So the first step is, what is creativity? We are radio tuners, so we get to tune into different frequencies and we get to capture that and play with it and not get attached too quickly. Right. That's the key.
Yeah. Like I think deferred judgment is a necessary attitude when you are trying to solve a problem or to connect with creativity or just get new ideas. And then aim for quantity. I don't know if you remember, but when we were doing this brainstorming session, like everything was a yes and.
Yes and, like improv.
Yeah.
Yes and. Okay, so let's get an example. So if someone has a problem, step one is what's step one?
To breathe.
Oh, I love you. Yes, you gotta breathe.
You first breathe and calm yourself, because you can't be in a state of stress. I mean, you can if you want, but it's just easier.
Not as fun.
It's just easier if you are just calm and you trust that the information is there for you. And then the second step is to enter in flow state. Okay,
what is flow state?
I will say there are some books out there, like, they're very interesting. There's a guy, impossible name to he's Polish, I believe. The name of his book is Flow, and he talks a lot about this. Also, there's another one called Stealing Fire. They talk about this flow state. So for me, flow state is a state in which my inner dialogue shuts down. And I'm very present with what I'm doing. Time starts going in a different way. Like, I'm not that aware of time. And I'm absolutely focused on what I'm doing. And yeah, I feel very connected. That is flow state for me.
And how do you get present? What's the fastest way for you to get present?
For me, it's working with my hands. So if I need to start having ideas and I'm kind of blocked, I will start just doing collage or just painting or maybe creating a braid or something like that. I don't know exactly why, but for me, I'm very connected to my hands and to like find things. So the moment I start doing that, my mind quiets down
and then you would go into the problem solving thing. So you would do
Yes.
that first.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like getting in the right mindset.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right, let me write that down. Get in the right mindset. Very important. All right, here we
Yeah.
go. Get in the right mindset. So
Yeah.
breathe, get in the right mindset, get
Yeah.
into flow state.
Yeah, and maybe for some people getting into flow state maybe is listening to a song or
Mm,
dancing or going for a quick run.
yeah.
I
I run in place
that works. That works.
and I breathe.
Exactly.
You know I'm a big advocate for breathing. Well, we only do it every show. Because we're not breathing well enough, right? All right, so next step.
Yeah. Also, I have been trying this quick meditation, like just an embodiment practice when I'm guiding these sessions. Just making them focus on the different parts of their body and then contracting, and letting go. Contracting the body as much as you can and release. And that can also help you to get into flow state. Just getting in tune with your body.
Absolutely.
Yay. That's fun.
Okay. So we
Cool.
breathe, we breathe well, we're in flow state now.
And now it's time to generate ideas. So there are two processes, right? First is divergent thinking, and you generate a lot of ideas using lateral thinking and aiming for quantity, as we said, and different, like just trying not to judge, just like it's a yes and process.
Like a brain dump.
It's a brain dump, yeah. And
Okay.
I'm very visual, so I use a technique called design thinking.
Okay.
And design thinking, it's great because you can just write down, is with sticky notes, right? And a wall. Just for me, it's very important to create categories.
Okay.
And have time. So it's like, okay, I have 1 minute to create as many ideas as possible for this problem and in this specific category. So I will write a lot, and I will put them out there so I can see everything. Wow. And then I go to the next second. So you have to break down the problem into smaller pieces. That's gonna make it easier. And then you do the same with the second one, right? Like it's not a moment to decide what is good or what is bad. You're just like writing a bunch of ideas.
What's the second one?
Just like, so first you break down the problem in pieces.
Okay.
And you continue just developing ideas like 1 minute each or 1 minute and a half, whatever you need.
Okay.
Aiming for quantity. And when you're done and you don't have a blank canvas anymore, because a lot of people get very afraid with the blank canvas. Yeah, you just see the blank page and you're like, oh no, now what do I do?
It seems so big and so hard.
Yes. Yeah. So
I would love to speak to that because my coach in my writing, Drew, Michael Drew is his name. He was amazing. And he sat down with me on the first meeting. And he literally just jumped right in and he goes, okay, you've got 1 minute. What is the title? And I'm like, what? What is the title of the book? I'm like, I don't know. You have 1 minute, he says. And I'm like, and I'm literally screaming, freaking, just like this. I'm not acting. And so all of a sudden I'm like, okay, next, what are the chapters? And you have 5 minutes. What are the chapters? I couldn't believe what he was asking me to do. And I'm telling you, it works. It works. All of a sudden, it poured out of me. And I, of course, did some shifting after that, but very little. It all came out at when you're under pressure and you have to.
Mm-hmm. It works.
It works. Anyways.
Yeah. For me, it's important to have deadlines. I like to create lists of things and tasks, and then assign deadlines because, if not, it's infinite. you know?
Yeah, then it doesn't get done.
It
You
doesn't
just,
get
you just talk
done.
about it forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we do like to get things done. We work very well together.
She's actually responsible for my website at
Mm.
upayaretreatcenter.com, and it's gorgeous. And we knocked it out in 2 days together.
That
It was
was
so
awesome.
fun. And we did it with a lot of these steps. Okay,
Yes.
what do we want? What is it going to look like? What's important? What comes first? Maybe I'm
Yeah.
jumping steps here. Okay, so we're
Yeah.
going to do divergent. We're going to breathe. We're going to get into flow state. Then we're going to think big, brain dump, and we're going to break it into categories, and then brain dump inside those categories. Particularly fun with colorful Post-it notes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, perfect.
And then it's a time for decision making.
Okay.
Right? Considering what are the best options, just like you can funnel the ideas, like, okay, what are the best ideas, or what are more exciting or less exciting, and then you start categorizing, because sometimes it's very difficult you have like 50 ideas and you're like, which one is the right one? So again, you can just start dividing them into, okay, what are more fun ideas, or whatever is the category you need to solve this specific problem. And that way you will end up with 20. And then you do that process again, and you get your top 5. And then you might want to do your pros and cons, or for me, it's always easier to do it visually.
How do you do that?
Just with a piece of paper, writing it down and having all the options and writing all the pros and cons for each one of them, so I can see everything at the same time. My samurai teacher, he's awesome. His name is Sentai. He's from Japan. He's a 16th generation ninja samurai. And he has this technique that is very useful for all these moments. He asks you to close your eyes. And then he says, okay, when you open your eyes again, I don't want you to look at one thing. I want you to look at everything at the same time. Big view, like if you were watching a mountain. So the moment you do this, suddenly your view is like this, and you're able to see the whole room, and you're engaged in different parts of your brain. So I like to tap into these like quick resets of the mind in order to understand what is the best solution. Because if you get too focused on one thing, it's difficult. But if you like open your view and just open your field, it helps. It helps to understand what is the best solution. And yeah, everybody has a different system for decision making. Amy is very fast at that, like extremely fast at taking decisions. That's why we were able to do a website in 2 days. Because even if I'm like creating a lot of things, you need to tell me, right? Like you need to tell me what is right. And I think you're the person that takes decisions the fastest.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it might be because I'm not afraid of I don't actually believe in mistakes. I think we're just learning. And so I just pick the thing that brings me the most joy and makes me smile. And I'm like, okay, let's do that. Because we can always change it later. And we don't know until we know whether it works or not. So that allows me to decide quickly. So if you want to decide quicker, just don't worry about making a mistake, because there really isn't any. You're just learning, and that's life. It's a learning process. So,
but also you have trained your intuition a lot. You're very connected to your intuition and to trust your gut. Again with the samurai, he explains that we have 3 chakras.
Okay.
We have the mind, and here's about information, intuition, and then we have the one in the chest is about emotion, it's the heart, right? And then you have the third one that is called tandem, which is in the belly, like down the belly bottom, and where your gut is basically. And this is where the spirit lives, and this is where this represents balance and center and groundness. So he's asking you all the time to bring the energy down to the belly, So you take decisions from the belly, from a central space, not from the mind, not from the emotion, just like connecting to the center is really cool, really beautiful.
And breathing into your belly will help you connect to your belly. Right? Exactly. And then asking, we're all about asking excellent questions here at Get Your Shit Together, right? Because when you ask an excellent question, you get an excellent answer. If you ask a shitty question, you're going to get a shitty answer. Like, why me? Like, that is not a good question, right? But if we're asking an excellent question, like, how might I solve this problem? How else might I solve this problem? How else? What else? Get creative and go deeper and deeper and deeper. And if you want, even get a group of people, grab some people that you love and you trust their insights, and then do this process with them, and they're going to come up with stuff you would never have thought of.
Well, and not only people, because now we have AI.
Ooh, okay. You just said it.
Yes.
Big controversy about AI. Okay, tell me, what is your opinion about AI?
AI is awesome.
Yeah.
Like now, all this process that I just described, obviously you are the one that needs to tap in. You are the one that needs to understand what is the problem and verbalize it. But now all this brainstorming process, you can get the help of an AI. It's going to give you a lot of answers, and then you have your own criteria, and you have to really understand what do you want, not because the machine told you this is what you have to do. But it gives you a lot of options, and you can like ask the AI to go further, to think outside the box, to connect the dots in a different way. You can even tell the AI, solve this problem as if you were Albert Einstein.
Whoa.
Right?
I've not tried that.
I haven't either, but that sounds like a fun thing to
trying. Interesting. Yeah, and you can even add your personality. Like, you can say, solve this problem, but use words that are fun, inspiring, motivational, correct, accurate, or whatever you want to use, and then it does it. It does it. It's so cool.
And it's a new language. Like learning to talk to the AI is a beautiful process that ignites creativity. For me, like my creative process now is so fast. I'm creating so fast. I'm doing things that before I needed other people to do for me, and now I don't need it because I'm so much faster. And it's not that you allow the AI to do everything for you. It's just like just another tool, like the washing machine, right?
We're not. Most of us aren't scrubbing our clothes in the river. We use the machine.
Yeah.
Right. So when we start wanting to reject it because it's new, of course there's downsides like anything. There's people who abuse it. There's things to be aware of, and it's a massive tool. Massive tool. So I know you're really creative with your visuals. Tell me more about that.
With my visuals?
With your AI visuals and all the things that you're creating visually.
Well, I have been always a very visual person. Like I think in images more than in words, I would say. So my dreams are very vivid. Like, I have like strong imagination. So it's really fun with AI. I use Midjourney to create images, and I use ChatGPT for the rest of the things. And then there are like hundreds of tools, AI tools to solve whatever you need. Like, I promise there is an AI for that. So it's amazing that now, there is a thing called prompt engineering.
Yeah.
And prompt engineering is how you give commands to the AI for them to understand what do you need and what do you want to create. And that's a learning process, like any other language.
Yeah, right.
But for sure, you should try it. Just try to create images with AI. Is so much fun. Try to recreate a dream that you had, or maybe for future casting, no? It's like you have these vision boards that like you create a vision board every year, right?
Yeah, I do. Yep. I have not used AI as of yet, but maybe that's the new thing.
You can put yourself doing the things, and it's so much fun. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
All right, to recap, you breathe, you get into the right mindset, you get into flow state, then you create your categories and you brain dump in each categories, and you're going for quantity. And then you open your view. So take a minute to take your eyes off all that, open your view, like Mr. Who taught you? Sentai taught you. Close your eyes and then open your view and just see everything, and then go back to it for a minute. And then the last step is, or pick your top 5. Sorry, pick your top 5.
Because at the end you end up deciding what you want to do, but at the end is execution, and this is just the end of this part of the creative process, because execution opens a whole different world. Not depending on the problem, you will have to execute. So yeah, when you have decided on your idea on how are you going to solve your problem, then it's time to
take
action. Exactly. And yeah, for me, it's very easy to see what are the steps to complete a task. Like, my brain works like that. That's why I also work on creative strategy, and delegating, like who needs to do what. That's easy for me. For other people, it's a little bit more complicated. But yeah, you can execute in a messy way, but that's also fine too. Like, just like impulsively start doing things, or you can just plan ahead a little bit and decide how are you going to solve your problem and what are the steps that you really need to take in order to get it done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scheduling time to execute. Super important. Otherwise, it could be something you just end up just talking about for the rest of your life. The book, for instance, that I wrote, Get Your Shit Together, I talked about that for years. And then I finally scheduled time with Michael Drew. And then he did what he did to me, where, okay, you have a minute. Decide the title, decide the chapters. And next thing you know, I have an outline, which is basically, the categories. And then I had to go through each one and write and fulfill that piece. But here's the cool thing. It was little chunk by little chunk by little chunk. I didn't take on the whole book all at once. I took one chunk on at a time, and I scheduled that. And so now it's a finished product. And this sounds basic and obvious, but sometimes obvious isn't obvious to us. And we just end up talking about it. So I hope you've written down these nuggets, and you have a problem or a challenge that you want to work through, and you do this little process, because I'm telling you, it works, and it will light a fire under you. You will get very excited about it. And when you're excited, it's easier to take action, right? Amazing. So what are you most proud of in your life?
I think I'm very proud of being alive. Like, I kept myself alive for 30 years. How awesome.
Right? That's a good perspective. I love that. I feel that way about my kids. I kept my kids alive.
Yeah, that's even bigger.
I mean, I should count myself in, though. That's important. Kept yourself alive. That's amazing. So tell me about a trip. I love travel. We talk about travel here a lot. So tell me about a travel experience where you had to get your shit together, and traveling was the catalyst.
So when I was 19, after my first year in college, I was very, very disappointed about college. I was bored. And I decided to go to Ireland and to live in Ireland for 6 months.
Ooh, I love
and so I went to Ireland, and this is the first time that I'm going away for so long. And it was a very good experience, but all my ghost, all these things, unresolved issues, great opportunity, because I didn't have my safety net anymore. So since I'm 12 years old, I had an eating disorder, and I was 19 already, and the eating disorder has been part of my life, and I'm friends with the eating disorder because this is what happens after so many years with these specific behaviors. They become part of your personality, and more when you are a teenager, right? So when I went to Ireland, suddenly I went down. I didn't have my friends, my family to support me. No one knew, obviously, that I had an eating disorder. That was my very little secret. And yeah, it was bad. I went into like a strong depression. I would like pass out. Yeah, not okay. So I decided to come back to Madrid. Well, I was very lucky here because I don't know why, but most of my best friends got scholarships to come to Ireland that year.
Wow.
So the person I was dating in that moment, he got a scholarship for 1 month, and two of my best friends too. So suddenly I was not alone anymore. They didn't know what was going on, but just by seeing them, it already made me to like get out of there. And then I understood that I needed help, but I didn't know how to start. No, again, like, okay, I understand that the eating disorder is not serving me anymore, and I need to get rid of it. What do I do? And I was starting my second year in college, and I remember in what subject, but I proposed to my team to do a research on eating disorder associations.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was not having to do it by myself. No one knew, again, like these people didn't know what were my motivations.
Yeah.
But they accepted that. They said they thought that it was a good idea. So we started doing a big research on associations and ways to get rid of eating disorders or to deal with eating disorders. So suddenly I had a team of 7 people doing this research with me. And I was just putting energy into that, right? Like just putting energy to understand what to do, how to solve it, doing interviews with these different associations, just collecting information here. And unrelated, but a different person suddenly came to me telling me about this association and a friend of hers that was in treatment. And it was exactly what I needed. So
wow.
I found my solution within like 5 weeks. So yeah, that trip to Ireland, and then that therapy changed my life. It was a cognitive behavior therapy for 5 years, and also systemic. So it involved my whole community, and they taught me.
So you had people who were opting in to be your support.
Yes.
Wow, that's
like
awesome.
Everybody. It was.
How amazing is that?
It was so beautiful. I learned how to be vulnerable, how to ask for help.
Wow. And you learned about community, which you're so epic at.
I learned about community and the power of community to raise people and to help people. And I also learned how to identify my thoughts and my emotions and to create a space between an impulse and an action. And seeing the first intrusive thought before it becomes a snowball. So it was, for my brain, cognitive behavior therapy was exactly what I needed, because
it's really about reprogramming.
It was about creating new neuronal paths. This is another episode, actually.
I think we're gonna have you back because this is a big subject and there's so many people suffering, and you have done it. You're on the other side, and you get to be in this beautiful position of an inspiration, and to give tools and tips on what you did and exactly how you did it, so that others don't have to suffer for as long. You know, so okay, we'll have you back for sure. That is huge. Thank you for sharing that so vulnerably. I've known Caro for years, and it was only recently that I found out that she even had an eating disorder in the past, and I was like, what? I can't even imagine, like, that doesn't, there's no issue now that I can see.
Mhm.
And so it's beautiful to see that level of triumph, that level of
Thank you so
triumph. You
much.
triumphed.
Yay.
I think you can add that to things you're proud of,
Nice.
in my humble opinion.
I love it. Yeah.
I am proud of you. That's for sure.
Thank you.
That
And
is not
that
easy.
was pure creative problem solving again.
Mm.
Like finding the right, like just calling in, manifesting the right people to help me, but also like putting the energy there, right? Like focalizing the energy in order to get the ideas and the help that I needed. And yeah, very grateful for that.
I think let's take a second and just really focus on this, everyone, because what she did is she had a problem, and what happens is we get in our own way, right? We have blinders on, and we often have a hard time solving our own problems because we don't know what we don't know, and we don't see what we can't see. And what she did is got help. Now, not everyone knew all the details of why she was getting that help, but she got the help. And that was the key thing. And she got different ideas and different perspective. And that is massive, massive. We were not put on this planet as individuals on islands to ourselves to figure this out. We were put on this planet together. We might as well enjoy each other's gifts and talents and ideas and perspectives. And it's huge. It's life-changing. Opening yourself up to that, like actually. And not being defensive of having to have all the ideas and all of that. So ask for help, get other people's perspectives. You decide for you, but at the end of the day, they might just have the key. They might have what's the medicine.
Yeah, and
right?
In the process of me asking for help, a lot of people will open up because it felt for them unbalanced that I shared such a vulnerable thing, asking for help and like explain my struggles in the moment. So they were like, okay, let me be vulnerable too. I'm going to share what's going on in my life. So it was very beautiful because it also gave permission for a lot of people to talk about their mental health problems and also get inspired to look for help. And so I had my community affected me, but I was also influencing my community by just asking for help.
Yay! Yes, this is why I do the show. It's because we're glorious, messy humans. And we lay it all out in its gloriousness and its messiness. And this is how we grow, and this is how we change, and this is how we transcend our shit. Right? And we have to stop being shocked that we're messy and that the people around us are messy. We are as glorious as we are messy, and as messy as we are glorious. And that means there's a lot of glorious and a lot of messy. Right? And so it's beautiful. It's beautiful to own it and change it. Wow, it's so amazing. We're out of time. You go so fast. But I'm going to have you back at the end, and I'm going to ask you this question, Caro. So I'm going to give you a little warning. If you're on a mountaintop and you had just one thing to share with the world, and the whole world was watching and paying attention, what would be that one thing? I will ask you at the end. We want to know your nugget. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I adore you.
I love you so much.
I'll have you back in a minute.
Okay.
All right. It is now time for, we're going to do the weekly triumph. All right. So last week we had the gratitude challenge. It was amazing to see everybody's submissions and what they're grateful for. And this is a perfect week for that with Thanksgiving. So thank you, everyone involved and everyone who took a minute every day just to write down 3 things in their journal. This week, we are going to do, here it is, drum roll, the 1-minute meditation challenge. 1-minute meditation. That means daily, you're going to sit down, put the timer on if you have to, and sit for just 1 minute with your focus on your breath. That's all you're going to do. You're just going to sit and you're going to breathe and you're going to notice how the air leaves your nose and how it comes back out your nose, leaves and enters, sorry. And you're just going to notice. You're going to feel your belly fill up And when your mind wants to wander, you're just going to say, no, come back. Pay attention to your breathing. Feel the breath. And that alarm will go off and you will be triumphant because you did it. You took 1 minute to get present. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to get present. So you can find it on Instagram, on Amy Joy Coaching, and you'll see posts on Facebook as well. And I will do that on Fridays. I'll let you know the new triumph, weekly triumph. And just please, I'd love to hear from you, what you're doing, how it's going, what happens when you meditate. I'm just letting you know, you download lots of amazing ideas. Because you're giving space for the brain to actually just tap in to the quantum. And you can solve a lot of problems just taking a minute to meditate. And I know that is kind of like an oxymoron, right? I'm saying don't think, but your brain's going to. And all of a sudden you're going to have an idea and then you bring it back to present. And when you get done meditation, you write down idea and then you use Caro's process of problem solving to figure out if that idea is one that's going to stick or not. So, all right, 1 minute meditation. Go to Instagram, Amy Joy Coaching. I will see you there. Love you guys. All right, here we go. So it is now time for meditation moment. All right, so we take 5 minutes for this every week. The challenge is just 1 minute. If you want to do it longer, you certainly can. But this is where we're going to take a minute just to get present. We're going to listen to beautiful music from the amazing Gary Malkin. You can find his composing. He's a multi-Emmy winner. He's composing, and you can find it on Gaia on Islands of Inner Peace. So I want you to just take a minute, grab the kids, the grandkids, everybody around you. It's just 5 minutes. Maybe your stomach's all full from Thanksgiving dinner. And just take a minute to breathe. And I want you to observe. Are you feeling happy or crappy right now? Don't make it right or wrong, good or bad. Just notice. Just notice. And breathe. And now I want you to notice what thoughts are running through your mind right now. Are they thoughts of the past? Are they more thoughts of the future? Or are you here right now? Again, neither is right or wrong, good or bad. Just notice. And breathe. And now I want you to visualize a candle flickering right there in front of your eyes. Notice the reds, the oranges, the yellows, the whites, the gold. Just notice. And breathe. Now gently slide that candle into the middle of your head and watch it flicker there. And breathe. And with your hands on your heart, think of one thing you are so grateful for. It brings a smile to your lips. and maybe even your whole face. And while you're in this present expanded place, I'm going to send you a beautiful energetic activation. It's called a Diksha. Just know that it's sent with so much love. All you have to do is set the intention to receive. Even if you're on the replay, you can receive this. It doesn't matter. Energy never quits. And with a deep breath in and a ha, let it all out. Let it all out. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Welcome. Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you're filled with gratitude and love. It's so wonderful to be present. All right. I am going to bring the amazing Caro back on. We're going to slide our chairs over here. There we go. All right. So, Miss Caro, if you're on a mountaintop and you had just one thing to share with the world and they were paying attention, what would you share?
I think I would say that life is exactly what you think it is.
Mic drop. Life is exactly what you think it is. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, understanding that there is an absolute truth that is difficult to tap in because it's divinity, right? And the rest of the truth is subjective truth. We have the power of just decide what subjective truth do we want to believe in, right? And the perspective that we choose to interact with reality, with the world, because there are many ways to interact with reality.
So the way to know how you feel about life is to answer this excellent question, which is, life is fill in the blank. Is life magical, amazing, fun, glorious, or is it hard? Is it terrible? What is it for you? How would you honestly answer that question? Life is, people are. How we answer these questions is how we're actually projecting and what we're manifesting back in our lives, right? This is why here at Get Your Shit Together, we're talking about life is happening for you and everything is here to help you. Because that philosophy is completely different. My experience in life is completely different than what it used to be, which is life is hard. Oof. Here's the deal. We want to be right. So whatever we believe, we are constantly looking for how we can prove ourselves right. See, life's hard. Told you. Yep, there it is. Yep. Or life is amazing. Life is happening for me and everything is up here to help me. And I'm like, ooh, there it is. There's the gift. Ooh, that just happened. Right? Completely different experience in life. Wow. So life is, what is it for you? And if it isn't a positive one, right? If it is something like life is hard or life is out to get me or life is drudgery or whatever, if it's something like that, then what can you do, right? Well, you breathe. You get into flow state, right? You brain dump What could life be? What is life also? What is life also? Life is also magical. Life is also fun at times. Life is also, right? It's not always one thing. And then pick the word that makes you feel the most glorious, and that's your new mantra.
And rapid prototyping, I think, is the next step.
What does that mean? We have 30 seconds.
It means that instead of like jumping into a big execution, you just like do it. You do a fast prototype of whatever you want to implement instead of like a big like company or whatever.
Yeah. So you would just change it. Life is amazing. Life is magical. Life is full of connections. Life is, right? That took what? A minute. And you have a new mantra in life. Write it down, put it all around you, put it on your dash of your car, put it on your refrigerator, put this mantra everywhere. And next thing you know, your brain will start believing it, your body will start believing it, and you'll start finding all. For me, obviously, it's magic. Life is magical. Life is fun. Life is full of connections. Life is all those beautiful things, which is why it flies off my mouth so easy, because I have been practicing this, because I had to ditch life is hard. No. Life is amazing. Life can be challenging, right? I change hard to challenging. And it's so much fun. Life can be beautiful. Life can be beautiful. So I hope you're having a beautiful night tonight. Thank you for being here. Again, happy Thanksgiving. Hugs and kisses to all of you. I can't wait to see you next week. Remember that together we vibrate higher. And that, my friends, changes the world. We'll see you next week. Besos. Mwah. Thank you, Caro.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Get Your Shit Together live with Amy Joy. If you'd like to follow us, you can on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Amy Joy Coaching. Appreciate so much your likes, comments, and shares. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please reach out. We'll see you next time.